Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into a DeSci market update. Right now, the broader crypto market is really just trying to find some support here, as it has been for the last week or so. Let's go ahead and pull up CoinGecko. I didn't type anything into there. CoinGecko, and see how the DeSci market's doing. Today we are down 4.1% as a function of the entire market cap of the industry. The trading volume just chilling, 39 million. That's a lot of money going through the market. Things are looking pretty good. Everything is sharing one very similar chart, and that is of, I think Research Hub embodies a good chunk of what every chart is looking like, where they had a massive breakdown from that last cycle. I'm calling it a little mini cycle, but what we saw at the end of last year, and we saw a giant sell-off on everything, followed by a breakout, and now we're getting the first major consolidation / major dip in that breakout. How's it going, everyone? Welcome in C90, WC90 for the gifted membership already, starting out strong AF. Brett, welcome into the cult. Happy to have you here. But Ruralis, Dr. Crypto, MK, King Cat, David, Wild Africa, hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen. As you come into the live stream, hit that thumbs up on the live stream. Things are looking good. We are having the first major pullback in this leg of the crypto rally. Honestly, it does look, sorry. It does actually look like a pretty good time to buy Wild Africa. It does indeed. I think we're all on the same page here, so I don't want to spend too much time analyzing Bitcoin's chart here. I'm actually going to take these off because it's kind of blurry. I'm having some aggressive blurs from that giant light right there. Much better. But yeah, let's zoom in. Let's pull up some other DeSci projects right now, because we saw a pretty big sell-off in the last 2 days or so, as things looked like they were going to bounce, but are continuing this slight downtrend. See what I mean? Research Hub kind of embodies the same trend of all of them, where there was a massive sell-off, a breakout, and now we're having that first big sell-off since that breakout. The top movers on the day, we got, damn, why is VitaDAO taking off right now? Let's look and see. I did want to show you guys this post, but I'll show it a little bit later. Lead researcher behind the VitaFast IPT sat down with us at the DeSci Summit in Dubai. So they're probably getting ready for some announcements coming out here soon, or perhaps they got some crazy new subscription of money. Who knows? No big announcements in the last day or two. So VitaFast or VitaDAO just having a big surge, 20% on the day. Love to see it. We also got Red Genesis, which is at a $19,000 market cap. So this surge is not really that crazy. Welcome in, Stare. I'm curious if Red Genesis is still doing anything. Yeah, see that? That's why that 19% doesn't really make a difference, because it's basically dead. But let's go see their X. Yep, that's what I thought. They rugged, so don't pay attention to Red Genesis, which is a shame, because I think I put like $4 grand into it. Ugh. Then we got Vita RNA, which is sending. It's weird because VitaFast is not sending, but VitaFast is what they were talking about. I believe both of those will probably have some good news coming out here in the short term, especially with this spike. I imagine insiders are starting to accumulate some before it does. That chart does not spark joy. No, it does not. Red Genesis does not spark any joy. DGH, $140,000 market cap. Slow stair step up. I don't really know too much about them. I have not paid much attention to them. I have my clear winners that I like to follow, and that is about it. Let's see what's dragging us down the 4% though. So none of these have enough volume to show the price, I guess. Weird, but we got SciDAO 30% down, we got Exemplar, we got WellShare, we got Factorn, we got SBio, which is super tiny, ValleyDAO. So a lot of things pulling us down today. Bio 6%. But it's par for the course, genuinely. We've talked about it so many times, but it's going to take Bitcoin dominance falling in order for us to really get that crazy rally. And this right here is reminding me a lot right now of this. So where it spiked down, came up, had a little fake out where we all thought it was going to continue, and then it just went up higher. Oh. Same type of movement here. Spike down, coming up. We might have a little fake down, and then continue higher, unfortunately. We'll see. Ethereum still holding up very strong right at that same spot in the middle of the migration via VAIX, formerly VXV, still live in Telegram. You still following, Pat? Let's go. In the middle of a migration though. Yeah, I mean I follow, but it doesn't mean I pay much attention. What I do is anytime a DeSci project comes across my X feed, I will follow them. And then if they come across again, I will look into them and decide if I want to pay attention to them or not. That's how I make sure that I'm staying on top of everything in DeSci, is just by following their accounts. That way X is more likely to show me their stuff if they do start posting again. But let's go ahead and look, because there's two main things I wanted to talk about today for decentralized science. The first one is that this weekend, the researchers and AI devs looking for any kind of weekend project, we have the end of the bio hackathon this weekend. So if you guys know anyone who wants to put together a bio agent in 3 days time, go ahead and submit your scientific agents over to bio hackathon. It'll be interesting to see what kind of agents get launched through this. Elon and Trump are fighting now over the big beautiful bill. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is this video. The lead researcher behind VitaFast IPT sat down with us at the DeSci Summit. I already read that. Learn more about VitaFast and other active IPTs via the link in bio. What aging is. Sorry, I had a little special moment there. Let's go ahead and listen in.
I'm not joking, lots of theories, but we don't know why this is happening to us. By targeting autophagy, what we believe would happen, it would allow your cells to live and function for as long as possible, whether you exercise or healthy diet or interventions to prolong healthy lifestyle, rapamycin and AD precursors. So it makes your brain cells to live up to 100 years old or longer, something that makes your muscle to be able to run that marathon. And the problem with the process, just like with the whole body, is that sooner or later you will not be able to run that marathon, or at least not in 3 hours or under 3 hours, and you will not be able to win world championship in chess, even if you're Garry Kasparov. Nobody knows.
So not as informative as I thought it was going to be honest, but I dropped my mic, or my headphones. Not as informative. I thought they might leak a little bit of information about VitaFast, but VitaFast, oh, did they just make this account? No, they did not. But we go ahead and follow them. They do not post. VitaFast.xyz. It is a really strong contender for the IP tokens. I think that they are the furthest along. I could be mistaken, but I believe they're the furthest along. You've raised $300,000 to push the lab's research forward. In return, our community gains a voice in governing the IP and can actively participate in shaping research and development decisions. We know that though. And yeah, it's super, last time I checked, it was super illiquid. Like there was not a lot of liquidity, which is why you get those crazy spikes upwards. Like from $3 all the way up to $25, $26, $27. Crazy quick moves. These have just been short little tiny moves. But still, it's part of the IPT system, the IPT family. Yeah. All right, that's all I had. Thank you guys for watching. No, I'm just kidding. Why do people keep trying to go in the same time space? There's not enough people to watch something at noon. We have that time slot booked out. So DeSci World, talking about Cure. Cure, I don't know if you guys know this, but Cure is working on a project or an application that you can use to learn and study through VR. So you put on the VR Oculus headset, and then you get to actually go and be in a lab and simulate laboratory stuff. So you can just have kind of a virtual assistant there or an instruction booklet to help you go through the experiment if you're in a lab or if you're studying to be in a lab. So it's pretty cool. I think it's a good idea, and they've been working on it for years at this point, many years. So maybe they're ready to go. I believe they reached out to me. They want to talk and do something. We will see. What is this? Pump Science token launches are a war zone. Snipers lurking, ready to pick off your community members one by one. Not anymore. They worked with Meteora, and they gave us a shield with their anti-sniper suit. We'll fight back against the snipers. So Pump Science is working with Meteora, literally, to get ready to put some anti-sniper mechanisms into the launches of the next Pump Science tokens. So there's 17 of them coming, and yeah, that's pretty cool. Pump Science worked directly with Meteora in order to make sure that the snipers didn't come out and just take off with the tokens. So that'll be nice whenever they do decide to launch all those Pump Science tokens. DeSci Berlin is almost here. 6 hours until lunar landing. Really? Community call. SciDAO. DeSci World. Joe Rogan. LOL. Derek's here. Guys, stop talking about me. I know. Good thing I put a filter on here to make sure that you couldn't see any of the Derek messages that pop up in the live stream. Everyone was talking about you, believe it or not. Did you guys see that Circle is going to be IPOing here soon? Isn't that kind of cool? IPO season is back on, supposedly. A little bit suspicious, a little bit not ideal, but Circle going public means that after the bear market, we can all invest in Circle because it is one of the most, if not the only stable income source for companies in crypto. Stable, going crazy. Everyone is so hyper fixated on stable coins because it is the easiest and only thing that's really getting some good regulatory aid. So Circle going public, you know they work with BlackRock, you know they work with like literally everyone, Coinbase, everything. So Circle, I think, will have a good time in the public markets, but most of the time when you get that IPO, you get the same little pop, drop, and lock it that we see in so many other companies. Everything, all the tokens going live, you get the pop, drop, and lock it. You go look at things like Coinbase. Coinbase, when they went public, how many of you guys just jumped right in? It had the same exact story. It had low-key, it had pop, drop, lock, pop, drop, lock, and now it's climbing back up slowly but surely. But Coinbase, what a crazy time. I think my mom actually, in her Robinhood account, Coinbase was under $40, and she was like, I'm gonna buy one share. And I was like, okay, that's probably a good idea actually. And then she's just been holding on to her singular share. She should have full ported into Coinbase and just been done. I like Tether over Circle. They are like the better pirates. Yeah, but I don't think Tether's going to go public because then they would have to make every single part of their holdings transparent, and they really have proven that they do not want to do that. So Tether is probably not going to go public. It's really good for the peace of mind over Circle and having USDC. Going public does not mean that everything is clean and good and you aren't cooking the books, whatever allegations keep going against the stablecoin issuers, but it does make it a little bit harder, right? So it's a good thing all in all, I think, to have some publicly traded crypto companies. Yeah, Coinbase in the S&P 500 now. Crazy. Speaking of things getting added to the S&P 500, rumor on the street right now is that Robinhood will be getting added to the S&P 500 here tomorrow, actually, on Friday. So that'll be interesting. Robinhood up at $74 per share, almost taking out the high from when they IPO'd. It is rebounding season, up 1,000% from the bottom. The stock market is going crazy. Let's actually look at the markets. Yeah, we're almost putting in all-time highs again. All that drama, all that scariness of falling off a cliff for the tariffs. The tariffs, baby, the tariffs. 25% decrease in the entire indice, to be followed by a 33% rally in the span of 2 or 3 months. That's crazy gains. Anyone who bought the dip is very, very happy. But that's not crypto. That's just the broader markets. A lot of things in the market are pretty interesting to see. We have not gotten any better of a market environment, but everything is skyrocketed because the only reason it went down was the tariffs. And now the tariffs are not as big of a thing anymore. We're back up at the top again and ready to keep going on the rest of this bull run. What do you guys think about all of it? Everything, not just the markets. My back is in so much pain, guys. I'm in Tether is basically behind Jack Mallers' new company, 21XXI. I don't know who that is, nor do I know what 21XXI is. So enlighten us, por favor. Enlighten us. How is Qubits doing? D-Wave. D-Wave. So chilling out here for a minute. Kind of similar. Dynex getting that little rally. Along with all the quantum stocks, Dynex is getting a little bit of a push. Let's see if we can maintain this crazy uptrend. We'd have to get some big pushes here today and tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we get a little pullback here, reset, and then continue. But I do think we're continuing. We are on that slow grind back up. I'll keep that line there actually, but I'm going to make it a little bit thinner. We're going to 1 pixel. Because I don't think obviously we won't maintain this forever. So we'll just keep it light and thin. 21 capital. EGS, brother. I'm sorry. Anyone bought any Spine? They are very active on socials, but how are they going to make money? No FUD, just curious. I have no idea. They are crazy active on socials though. Let's go see what Spine token's been doing. Spine DAO. That's a pump science token, so let's not look there. Oh, I don't even know why I clicked on it with a dollar volume. They're getting their first big pullback. They were going on a crazy rally. That was really good on them. It was like, I just remember I watched it because I didn't partake in this one and it went up. Oh, okay, never mind. That was just 68%. I thought it was a lot higher actually. But still, they're doing good. I like the slow movement and it's not just a crazy pump and dump. It's like a steady climb and now it's having a good first pullback. We'll see how it happens. That was a very good sentence there. Spine DAO. Spine Archive. The past, present, and future of spine health. Do they have projects already going? Filter, an AI-powered triage tool that analyzes patient data to prioritize cases and optimize treatment pathways. In DeCide, I love it, an AI-assisted decision-making tool that helps spine surgeons and clinicians choose their most effective treatment technologies. I imagine they will sell some of these programs that they're making. AI-powered IoT tool that monitors spine patients in real time, detecting complications early, and optimizing personalized recovery plans. Radiomix, a transversal project utilizing AI to standardize interpretation of spine-related medical images. So you can think of, I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but you can imagine that they will make it so that this radio mix is really good at diagnosing MRIs and CTs and images, right? And then they'll sell it to hospitals and clinicians. Same with DeSci, the AI decision making to help spine surgeons and clinicians choose the effective treatment strategies. They're gonna make it and then sell it. It's an AI software company specifically for spine health. So I don't know how it'll all work out. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball, but it looks pretty cool. Why did they have a shortened version of their CA? I think that the target market on this is massive, and they've done and proven themselves as a DAO that's super willing to market and get their word out there about themselves. They're really good on socials. If you interact with them, they'll be really responsive, and they're pretty interesting to interact with. So that's good. It's good for getting their word out and getting people aware of them. They keep going on podcasts, Spine DAO, X Data Lake, bullish. Come on, Data Lake, you need to start posting more. You need to start getting out there, telling everyone what you guys have been working on. EGS, we're going down the list slowly. EGS had a crazy sell-off the other day. Yeah, market cap of 66,000 again. God damn. You guys know where I stand with these. It could go down to 5,000. I don't care. I really don't care. You guys know where I stand with the pump science tokens. It's just a simple waiting game. They are still 100% up from the low. They still have 50% to go to get to new all-time lows. And even that, I don't think it changes my investment thesis in the slightest. My bag is packed, and I am ready for whenever this thing wants to take off. Like literally right now, $700 gets you more than 1% of supply. Think about what happens if it pulls anything even remotely similar to what Riff and Euro did, and it goes up to 50 million, which is still not the 250 million that Riff and Euro got to. Even if it only went up to 10 million and you get 1% of supply here for $700, you're looking at $1 million market cap, 1% of supply. You're looking at having 10 grand. A $10 million market cap, you're looking at 100 grand. And 10 million is wicked small. 10 million is still very, very small. So these projects, these tokens, these memes of DeSci, even though they're not, I think it doesn't matter what they do in the short term. As soon as DeSci gets that rip, all the degens are going to come back and see that there's a whole litany of new Riffs and Euros to partake in. 21 Capital. Jack is the CEO of Strike and now 21 Capital. He does Bitcoin interviews in a hoodie in an empty closet. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I know who you're talking about then. Well, anything he backs, I think will do really well. You need to look up Dr. Joe Esposito. Has several chiropractic offices around Atlanta. Would definitely recommend. Okay. I didn't know you were around Atlanta too. Copy. We'll go here. Boom, boom. I want to get some deep tissue massages. That's what I want. Oh, he's in Marietta. Okay. Noted. We'll take this and we'll put this over here. Yeah, no, the number one thing that's helped me, because I have the stim devices, it's been massages. I have a whole drawer full of these devices. Literally a whole drawer of them. I have 2 of these belts, but the number one thing has been massages. And hanging. Hanging from a bar helps my spine so much. I think we're going off topic a little bit, but where's Peptide DAO? Is someone launching Peptide DAO? Ah, haha, I already follow them too. They are barely posting. Yeah, they're barely posting. Peptides, baby. I'm starting some peptides. I haven't purchased them yet, but I've made the decision I'm going to. Where's their token? PEP tokens. Let's go back. Let's get right into the news. Hell yeah, Solus. Hell yeah. Pepto-Bismol DAO. Alright, Derico. Alright. Tokenization of intellectual property. Did they not launch the token then? I wonder if they're still working. I wonder if they did a lot of stuff, a lot of projects and a lot of events. So I wonder if they're still working. But yeah, have you guys seen peptides? Do you guys know what peptides are? I'm gonna start doing them. I'm gonna start doing them for my back pain. Art. You gotta type in art drug if you want it to come up. Art. We have not talked about it yet. Down 7%. Yeah, I think everyone started positioning in them to try and anticipate that next rally, but the market decided against it. It really is just a matter of whenever the market wants to rip, these things are going to go bonkers. We saw a little preemptive taste of it, right? Little preemptive taste, seeing art go up 600%. Likes are not slacking for once, must be a sign. Let's go, Solus. W Solus. W Solus. But art is sensed down a lot. Let's see. Art is sensed down 68%. Again, guys, these are just opportunities to get in and build those positions, right? This hopefully woke everyone up to what's going to happen, but now it's not been sustained. It's coming back down. You know I love catching falling knives. We'll see how far down this thing wants to fall. A $210,000 market cap, it takes $2,000 to get 1% of supply. $2,000 to get 1% of supply. Art right now, I believe, on Pump Science is showing to be the best of the new batches. Yep, here we go. Nice. They launched the new website. All right. So this new website on Pump Science, the new iteration of the website, they are changing things around a little bit to make it more user friendly, right? They're trying to make it more so that you understand the science. So they've issued out these things called health points. Why is it stuck on this one? There we go. They've issued these things called health points so that you can see which compounds are doing the best, right? Which ones are expanding lifespan the most. And you go look and you see ART and EGS right now, even with Euro, Riff, and Gaussy, out of all 5 that have been launched, ART and Riff have the most health points right now. Or not ART and Riff, sorry. ART and EGS have the most health points. So they are looking like they are the most likely to succeed. Especially you can see ART has had $71,000 worth of their tokens burned already. So the supply is even smaller on these suckers. But king of the pill, Riff and Euro right now, because they've completed the worms and the flies stages of development. ART is just entering into the flies, I believe. EGS is ending the worms here soon. The market caps are so grossly small, but it looks like so far that ART and EGS are going to outperform the rest of them, the rest of the compounds. So we might get a dethroning of Riff and Euro potentially. And you guys get that whole game that they're doing, right? The king of the pills, any new launches that happen, anyone who's holding the King of the Pill at that time of the new launch gets a small airdrop. They're splitting 1% of every launch amongst the people who hold the King of the Pill. So if Art dethrones Riff or Euro, you're getting a crazy rally in Art or whoever does it. I will say life extension on Worms from Riff was 32%. If you go look at Art, we can see the data. Life extension was only 13%. So, but they just started the Flies one, so let's see how it does. I like the new layout of the website. It seems a little bit more intuitive. They're getting ready for all those launches coming. Age-old question, but are there too many IP tokens now to get Riff and Euro type pumps again? I would venture out on a limb, David, to say that you will never see another ROI like Riff and Euro. I will venture to say that you will not catch another $5,000 market cap thing pumped to $250 million ever again. I would venture to say that. That is not something people ever catch or see. That was insanity beyond anything that we've ever seen, right? I'm sure I could eat my words and I would love to. But even right now, you're getting EGS at a $60,000 market cap. That's still 12 times higher. That's a 12x already from where it was. It would have to drop 93% to get there again, to the 5,000. So I don't think you should not be expecting that kind of a pump at all. But to get something to go from 500,000 up to 50 million, that I think is possible. That I think is what we're going to see. I think we'll see 500,000 to 50 million, which is 100x. That's crazy. But I wanted to see the data. Not for the mice though. For the flies. Actually, I wanted to see it for the worms. Life extension. Yeah. So Riff had a 30% life extension. Art only had 15. The flies. Riff actually had a negative life extension on the flies. That's interesting. I'm curious if that's just a fluke though, because that is a big drop off all at the same time. And then mice. I think there's a lot of potential for new compounds to dethrone Riff or Euro. I do. And I think if that happens, we get a crazy rally in them. We will see. Time will tell. It's exciting. I think it's really fun. And I like that they've changed around how they're presenting all of these. I kind of wish that I didn't have to scroll here. Like that they were just closer. Like I want the health points closer to the stage. Like right next to it. But that's okay. Maybe I'll go tell them. I'll try and convince them to push it. I need to ask you a question in DM after live. Would you be willing to check it? I'm always willing to check it, but I need you to ask yourself first. Is it not a question that could be asked in front of people? And if not, why are you asking me? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm willing to check, but I would prefer it in the group chat or even in this so that I don't have to scroll through my DMs. But if it's not, then just say something and I will check. For you, Solus, of course I will. Okay. Noted. I want to go back to that, David, though, because there are a lot of IP tokens right now. I think that you could do two different strategies here. You could just buy all of them, all the IP tokens, and hope that you catch one of them or two of them or five of them that go crazy. Or you could do a bunch of research and go heavy into two or three of them, you know? Because there is a lot of them, and there are going to only be more as time goes on. And so you do have to be, eventually you will have to be selective. Right now, where there's only like 15, because not all of them are on the list. Right now, where there's only like 15 or 20 of them, I think it's easier just to spread it out. Like, say you want to take $1,000 and put it into some of these IP tokens, which most of you guys are probably doing more, but $1,000 into them, you just go ahead and put $100 into 10 that you really like, or $50 into all 20 of them. And then if you see 100x returns on some of them, you're turning that $50 into $5,000, right? So you're doing crazy work on that small little portfolio, right? But if you're doing something like $1,000, it's probably not worth buying all of them. You probably just want to buy 5 of them, right? And put $200 into 5 that you think are going to go crazy, and then hope that you catch 2 or 3 of them. Bill, obviously the easiest of them all to catch, followed closely by Hempy, then Isaac, then Art, EGS, Gossi, Not, Vita, Ovaria, Claw, all of them. AB4AD, which is the one that was up. This one's AB4AD, a $400,000 market cap. Ooh, Research Hub with the new lab notebook. Explore the new lab notebook. Bullish. Track your progress with the new lab notebook. Tag people. Quantum biology. Oh, look at, they just shilled quantum bio in the promotion. That's kind of cool. You get to coordinate with people easier on Research Hub. That's really cool, actually. Athena DAO. Every breakthrough from AI to public health depends on one thing: data. True that, Athena DAO. True that. Yeah, I think that's just about it, guys. We're getting some good updates from people. Reigning kings of DeSci. The hackathon is ending. That's all that we kind of got going on right now. People are getting ready for DeSci Berlin, which should be a fun one. And as soon as the market starts ticking up, which literally, like, I've had several conversations with people. The reason, side note, the reason right now that Solana's selling off is because Pump Fund is looking like they're going to launch a token, and Pump Fund has been a net negative on Solana's ecosystem the entirety of its existence. They pumped Solana like crazy with all the activity, and they got a lot of users, and that's really good, but they've just been draining liquidity from Solana the entire time. They've withdrawn billions of dollars of liquidity from Solana's ecosystem because the people behind Pump Fund just take the money and go. Every fee that they have, they just take and go. So it's probably going to be the same type of thing. Pump Fund's going to launch their own token, and it's going to be that crazy pump and dump that anyone's ever seen. But most projects that I've been talking to, we're getting really excited to start pushing stuff and start announcing new updates and everything, but are waiting for Solana and Ethereum to start putting in some aggressive pumps here. So this sell-off is postponing a lot of the announcements and a lot of stuff that's happening. I just want everyone to be aware. Good morning, Jordy. Welcome in. I just want everyone to be aware, right? They were getting close. Solana above $200 means a lot of exciting things start to get launched and released in DeSci. Ethereum up above $3,000 likely means a lot of exciting stuff getting pushed and published in DeSci. But we are having a sideways / downward trending market right now. Like, Solana is actually holding up a lot worse than Ethereum, which is interesting. Bitcoin is leading that charge down just a little bit. Again, I don't think it's anything to be worried about. I would expect us to bounce off 99K, but we're going to have to wait and see. You probably get some of that global liquidity, or not global liquidity, BTC liquidation map. Coin glass. You're looking at a lot of liquidity that can be grabbed for Bitcoin down at 102,000. So maybe we only go to 102,000. 99,000 would be all of the liquidity being grabbed. So I don't know that we'll end up seeing that per se, according to this. But having us come down and liquidate some of these 50x long people, like let's turn off all the others and just look at the 50x longs. There's a lot of liquidations set to happen down here at 102. Whoever went 50x long at 94,000 is sitting very pretty right now because I don't think that they'll get hit. That's a crazy, crazy entry. Honestly, even a 10x long is a crazy good entry to have down here. But yeah, as far as the easier to look at one, yeah, see how much liquidation all the way down to 99,000. So maybe we will see. There's not a ton of liquidation up here. However, the dollar volume is a lot higher. So it's more spread out, the shorts, meaning we likely won't see them liquidated as hard as the longs. But I would expect some moves here in the next day or two on Bitcoin down to 102,000, which is only down here. So it wouldn't even break the head and shoulders. We need Research Coin to get listed on Coinbase. I know, David. I don't know why. I don't know why they won't. They're just playing games with our bags here. Sorry, hold on. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the game of hurry up and wait. I will say we have a little bit of excitingness here to view. We are almost done with the new moon dump. It is almost time for the full moon pump again. So this last little rally and then a big push up to 140,000. Have your mom make a call with her one share. Be like, listen, I am a qualified shareholder. I deserve my voice to be spoken or heard. Can you imagine? I mean, technically you have the right to submit your proposals. Let's go. I want to go actually show you guys because it is quite astonishing. Full moon versus new moon. Let's get these line charts drawn up. We have new moon, red candles. Full moon, pump. New moon, not a red candle, but definitely just sideways. Full moon, pump. New moon, dump. Full moon, pump. New moon, dump. Full moon, didn't really do anything, but just a little sideways down. Dump. Pump. Dump. This one's interesting because it kind of pumped at first, but then it dumped. So, interesting behavior here. All that to say that we are at this end of the second week for this moon phase. And next week, we will be getting the full moon again, which means we can start getting that push next week to all-time highs again. It is the real charting. I have to go through and break all these off again. How does one mass erase drawings? Don't mind me. I also own a very small amount of Coinbase and I get the emails about their shareholder meetings. I should actually look into what it takes. That would be super funny. That would be a good YouTube channel to have actually. Is like joining shareholder meetings as an investor, and you just go buy one share of companies and then request to join in on the shareholder meetings. That would be quite hilarious. You secretly live stream them so that everyone can see. I think once total market cap bounces off the 200-day moving average, we can get that confirmation of the breakout, and then we can continue the uptrend, which is what I've been saying literally every single day. So WC90, WC90, do it C90, W. All right, that's all I got, guys. That is all that I have. That's all she wrote. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns? Things that they would love to talk about or bring up before we sign off for the day? Tomorrow's live stream, we will be going over Agent Bill and, of course, breaking down what I've been working on with Agent Bill and the future developments to expect. Hopefully, I can start gearing up and teasing for the partnership that I've been working on for Bill. I think you guys will enjoy it. There's still some building left I have to do to get him ready for that partnership. So I'm going to have a busy day today trying to finish out the build for him so that he can have all the tool sets ready to air the partnership and be ready to go, ready to really help out. I'm excited to see where things go from here. I think this is going to open the door and get a lot of eyes on Bill from industry experts within DeSci. I think that when this partnership drops, it's going to be a really, really good thing for Bill's reputation in the DeSci space as not just like a meme, but really a tool that people can use. Something that can actually be integrated into and will be integrated into every DeSci project. Otherwise, it's going to be a red flag. The way I'm setting this up is that if a DeSci project does not partner with Bill, it is going to be seen as a red flag by people in the industry, by community and people around involved / partaking in the decentralized science narrative because of, well, what we're doing here with him. Nobody else is doing it, and I think you guys are going to be pretty excited about it. We shall see. Your time is your most valuable asset. Sola says, I'm concerned about the level of consistency you've been putting in. Hopefully you don't burn out. No, don't worry. I burned out last week. I had a little burnout weekend or a burnout week last week. I didn't go live once last week. That was my burnout. I'm back in. I'm ready to go. I burned out from making some content and we're back in and I'm excited. There is no... The cool part, in my opinion, is that burnout comes from when you are pushing really hard and don't see any progress. But with building AI systems and agentic tools for agents to use, you can see immediate progress once you finish them, right? You can see it. It's coming together. And so I get that positive reinforcement every single day when I finish out a workflow, finish out a tool, plug it in, get the APIs hooked up for XYZ, whatever. I'm excited. We shall see how it all plays out, but be ready. Your time's your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into, and I will see y'all in tomorrow's live stream. Peace.